Okay, it looks like we're live. I am going to have to get a holding screen because I never know when I should start talking. Cool. Hey people, so this is the second stream. I am not a one-stream wonder. I have at least logged in twice, so that's a start, isn't it? Cool. Yesterday we basically just created the project in Unity for our game, and today, stream 2, we are going to look at player movement. There is not really much happening. You can't even really call it a game. It's more of a picture so far. But hopefully after today at least we'll be able to use some keyboard input and move our little guy around. Maybe even be able to do some animation with him. In the last video I started looking at the sprites, and I'm using somebody else's asset pack. I'm using Limesoo's Modern Interiors, and this is just something that I picked up off Itch. It's a really it's a really big detailed pack of like top-down 2D assets. It looks quite cute. Originally, I was just going to use this for prototyping, so I don't have to spend loads of time building my own assets. I was just going to build something, make it work, make it function, and then think about actually doing something or looking for the right look and feel for the game. But I was just looking through the daily updates, and actually he started working on actually doing supermarket style assets, and this looks it just looks really cute. I like it. I think this will actually take us really far down the way to getting a minimum viable product, just using the simple stuff that's already here. So I'm going to definitely have to say thank you for this. Anyway, Modern Interiors, that's where I'm getting my graphics from, if you're wondering. And also, in the preparation for today's video, I was looking at this top-down movement in Unity by Brackeys. This is where I got some of the information that I am using today for the player movement, or at least some of the inspiration, put it that way. Anyway, without further ado, I'm going to open up Unity. And the other day we had some real problems with my streaming software that I could never quite see any of the menu pop-ups in the stream. And so what we're doing today is I'm actually sharing my whole desktop, so you'll be able to see, you can see my background and everything like that. It's not ideal, but at least you'll be able to see what's going on in the game a little bit better. So let's have a quick look at what we've got so far. It looks like something's already broken. I cannot see my player icon. That is strange. Why is that broken? Let's have a look at the player. There should be an icon there. I bet I've broken something when I pushed the project up to Git. What if I use a different one? So there's definitely a file there. It's definitely able to find it. So why is that not working? Okay, he is there. He's just behind the square. Cool, so we can start off straight away by doing some layering. I want the square to be really far back. So let's just zoom out a bit. Gosh, that's slow. want my square. Let's start by resetting this. No, not that far. I just want it centered at 0. Okay. And we are going to order in layer -1. There, that'll do for now. I'm going to do some proper stuff with the sorting layers later on, but that will do. And yes, cool. So this is what we were up to last time. Okay, so what do we want to do? First things first, we want to be able to move our player around when we use our arrow keys. And to do that, I need a couple of things. I need to add a component. I need a rigid body 2D. Ha! That's already broken something. But right, let's have a look. Where is my rigid body? Did I get one? Rigid body 2D. There. Now, I can never remember the right settings for body type. It's either dynamic or kinematic. I think it's dynamic, but we don't want gravity. So let's set gravity to 0. Let's see what that does. Yep, that seems to be working. Just out of curiosity, if gravity is set to 1, yep, he falls. Fine. I wonder why the camera's moving with him. Can I see that in scene mode? Yeah, our square is falling. Maybe it's our square that's broken, not our player. Either way, let's set the gravity to 0. Oh, I'm on the square, that's why. Ha, okay. Right, I've got to be better at checking what thing I'm looking at. Okay, so we don't want a rigid body on our square. That's silly. Square is just a placeholder. On the player, there, that makes more sense. We want the rigid body, and we don't want gravity. There, nothing has changed as far as the actual running of the game goes. Okay, next we need a script. So we are going to add a script. Can I start typing the name already? Player movement. New script. Great. Create and add. Let's have a look. Where has that gone? Okay, player movement. Let's create a new folder. Always organize. That's what everyone seems to be telling me. Move our script. And now we need to open our script. Hopefully this will work. I am running this in Ubuntu, so I'm not on Mac or Windows, and I don't particularly like the idea of having to use the standard C# development environment tools, which is evading me. What's the name of it? What's it called? Can't think of it now. Either way, I'm using a program called Rider, which is part of the IntelliJ family, and this is I use a similar program for my day job, and so this should be more natural for me to work in. Okay, everything's opened fine. Cool, I can start coding. Yay, live coding on the internet. What could go wrong? Okay, I don't need a stop function. Right. Update. Anyway, let's start simple. What are we trying to do? We're trying to move stuff around. So I'm going to need my rigid body. And I'm going to need some sort of speed. Let's call it player speed. Oh, this is a float. We're going to initialize that at 3. Let's see what that's like. Then on update, we are going to do, we need to collect input. So we need some sort of what are they called? Not a position, a vector. Vector 2? I'm going to go ahead and try vector 2. I think that's what I need. Vector 2, I'm going to call it movement. What are you complaining about? Rename to movement with an underscore. Sure, why not? Okay, and an update. I want to update the movement from input. So movement should be equal to, right, let's get this input, get axis. I think it's called horizontal. Horizontal is X. Y is vertical. That's set in movement. And then, actually let's just do it here for now and just see if this is even working. We want to do rigid body position equal to body Is that what we're doing? No, rigid body move position. And that's going to be rigid body position plus our movement as by our speed, which I've called player speed. Let's just put this in brackets. It doesn't need to be, but it makes it more readable maybe. Okay. Now I'm not expecting this to work. I just want to see what happens when I do this. Okay, just quickly check our player. Make sure the script is actually attached. Yep. Player speed 3, rigid body is not there. So let's just take that rigid body, connect it. Okay. Right. No idea if that's going to work, but let's have a go. Oh! Well, at least he's moving. That is way too fast. Okay. So the first thing I could do is change that. Oh. This might be the first interruption to a stream by my child. She is making noises. Now I'm going to give her a second to see if she settles, otherwise this could end really quickly. Yeah, really sorry, but my wife is asleep and I'm in charge of the child, and when the child cries, I'm in charge of sorting that out, which means the stream has to end. It's just part of the fun, I suppose, of parenting. Okay, anyway. I'm going to quickly save, and we are going to jump into the terminal and just make sure that if I do need to leave, this stream was not without any progress. Okay, so I don't need my IDE folder because that's just what Ryder is creating for settings. So I'm going to edit my git ignore file. And just add .ide star. Great, don't need that, but I am going to have to add the changes to the git ignore. That's my sorting layer change, position change, that looks fine. Okay. And I'm adding my scripts. That looks fine to me. I'm going to go with git message added player movement script. I'm not going to go into any more detail because that seems plenty clear enough. Okay, I think that's worked. Cool. So now, as sad as it would be if we had to break the stream off early, at least I've made some progress today. But instead, what we're going to do is we're going to do a bit more tweaking, because I think there's more that can be achieved. For starters, the movement is way too erratic. Right, let's start. I am going to also multiply this by time dot delta time, just to normalize things. Is that telling me it's wrong? Reorder. Let's have a look at that in a second. And also, I'm going to actually make a quick change and do fixed update. I had done some reading on this, and it is good practice to do any physics related updates in a fixed update rather than in the update hook. Something to do with how many times per second it runs. I think I get the gist of it, but probably not enough to explain it, which probably means I don't understand it that well, but that's what I'm supposed to do, so I'm going to do it. Right, let's save that. Come back and see how that behaves differently. Oh! Much, much slower. That's because of the delta time normalization. Okay, so we'll have to make a change there. Let's whack the speed up to 5. Oh, look at that. That's much better already. Looks a bit weird because he's not moving in terms of animation, but I feel like that is already more natural. Let's leave it at that for now and see where we end up later on. Now let me see if I have got time to do some animating, because I think at the very least an idle animation would be useful. To start, I'm going to have to add the component. It's going to be an animator. I'm also going to have to add more sprites. Okay, so where is that? Open containing folder. And today you can even see my file browsing. Okay, we are going to go and have a look. So I think in Unity, Modern Interiors, here we go. These are all our files. So we're going to look at characters, 32 by 32 pixel resolution. Alex is my current character, and we're going to grab his idle animation and pop that in sprites. Okay. Great, so this file actually gives me his idle animation in 4 directions. So that's more than I need, I think, for now. But I'm not going to edit the file. I'm just going to use the sprite editor to slice it. Alright, let me do a quick think. Custom snap. What am I doing wrong? This was much easier the other day. Oh, I'm being silly. Sprite mode, multiple pixels per unit, 32. There we go. Although I'm not a fan of the automatic there, am I? They're not all the same shape. Is that going to cost me issues? Let's leave it at that for now. I would prefer it if they were all the same size. Okay, great. Now I need to open an animator window. So I need the window, animation, animator. Yep, that'll do. I have not got a controller yet. I would have thought that would create a controller for me. Let's do... Oh, yeah, that is wrong. Right, back to the player inspector. No, I want the... Here. That slice did not work. This is all... This should not be one image. Right, so... We need to be a bit... Grid by cell size, a bit stricter with these. What's 64 by 64? It's not that, but that's close. So if I do 32, That's not bad. Do I care about all the white space on top? Probably. So let's say maybe 48. Offset by, oh, quick maths. 4, 6, 16? Oh, hope I put it in the right place. Yeah, that looks okay. Still got a bit of white space, but not a huge amount. What if I do that even smaller? So let's say 46, 18. Yeah, let's go with that. That should work for now. Okay, back we go. So we want this guy. Sure, I'm doing something wrong. Because how on earth is that targeted my player? Okay. I mean, that seems to have done something at least. Right, I want empty. Am I in the wrong one? Is it the animation window I want? Ooh, this might be it. Right, let's try this again. Don't want a layer. What am I missing? So I've got my idle state. No animatable object selected. Ah, here we go. Idle. Let's go and create a new directory. All a bit messy, but we're getting there in the end. Look at that. Perfect. Now, can we play this? Where is our preview? There should be a preview somewhere. Can't play anymore. There we go. Let's see if this layout helps at all. Okay, so player movement is not what we're dealing with. We're dealing with animation. Something's not quite right. Let me restart. Delete that. Delete that. Player. Probably should have quit while I was ahead. Oh, and we've had a crash. That's looking great. Putting me through my paces today. Highlighting the importance of preparation, I'd say. Also highlighting the need to save more frequently. Which I'll start doing now. I've forgotten where I created animations. Player. Create. It's not letting me create an animation. Why is it doing that? There. Let's call this one idle. Let's chuck this in here. There's our preview bar. That's a nice start. Now where did I actually have the animation? There. Oh. So many different windows, Unity, honestly. It's like you're trying to be difficult. There we go. I think this time I've got it. I had it. No model available for preview. There's still something disconnected. Still something wrong. Can't quite tell what. Well, there we go. At least that's working. Okay. So that's way too fast. Even that's a bit fast. see, when you slow down this much, it seems a bit weird. Alright, let's just have him bouncing. He's active. He wants to get going. He's dynamic. That's what we like to see. Actually, let's stick on maximize on play. Oh, something's not right. I have not saved something. So look, player movement, player speed, that's what it was. Okay. Also, the animation's not repeating. Let's sort that out. Player, animator, idle. Where do I repeat it? Speed, multiplier, motion, mirror, cycle. I think I've got something wrong here. Loop, here we go. Look at that, beautiful. Look at you go, little bouncer. Okay. While I would love to also do your walking animation, I do not think I have time today. I'm going to have to call it there. Let's have another quick look at our objectives for today. I want to be able to move the player on screen. I am happy with that. Player movement control. Player should be moved by keyboard input. Yep, that is working. Player movement animation. When the player moves, animation should change. That is not done. That can go on to stream 3 next. However, player movement animation is in progress at least. Player movement control, I'm going to close because I think that's done. Great. So that's them updated. Great. I'm happy with that. Oh, very important. Can't forget to save changes and push things up to the cloud. But before I do that, let's do some rearranging. Let's have a look at our project. Right, let's create a folder for animation. Oh, never mind, I already had that folder. Delete. Okay. Let's move that's in here, create a new folder for player, because I've got a feeling I'll be having more animations coming. And then let's move both of these into the player folder. Save. There, I think that's better. Let's have a look. So we've got the animation folder, the player folder, the idle and the player animation controller. Our sample scene. I should probably call that something else other than sample scene, but that's good enough for now. Player movement script has been updated. Let's just quickly make sure that's all looking nice as well. So let's add some more comments here actually. Player movement control, player movement. Pretty self-explanatory, but fine. Actually, I'm going to leave those for now. Update. On update, we want to get input from controller. And in fixed update, we are update player position if there is input. Possibly a bit overkill, but save that. Quickly run to make sure we haven't broken it. Yep, still working. And no one told me that I hadn't changed the page. Done all of that and I still had my terminal in the stream. Ay, ay, ay. What am I like, eh? So what have we done in this chunk of work? Added idle animation for player. Okay. I guess now we can call it a day. By the looks of things, still nothing in chat on stream 2. I don't think we had many views. Maybe there's a few people viewing. Hopefully at some point people will start chatting to me so I can actually get some feedback and improve, I hope. But until then, yeah, it was nice hanging out with you, and it's nice to see that the game is actually now no longer just a picture. Hopefully see people for my next stream. Take care. Bye-bye.